Dennis Sperling.
In the city where the lights don't sleep, Uncle D got the vibe so deep. Representing men strong and free. Dennis Sperling is the king of the spree. In the streets where the rhythm flows, black men rising, that's how it goes. Uncle D got the truth to show. In his heart, that's where the fire glows. Late night tuning, light up the stream. Dennis Sperling, wisdom gleam. Voices whisper truth and insight. In his podcast, feel the light. Harmony in every word. Truth and laughter you've heard.
Well, that's all right.
Wave after wave of smooth delight. Dennis brings the dark to light.
Masculinity, baby!
Share the tales unfold. Stories born like morning gold. Feeling the wisdom is building. Subscribing like time after time.
Black men, I want to salute you. Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We went from, we are doing great for ourselves. So you should salute yourself. Shout out to all the brothers out there, whether you're a truck driver or an engineer, whether you're an electrician or garbage man, a doctor, a lawyer. If you're a hard-working brother, if you fresh out the penitentiary, but you on your grind and you doing it legal and you trying to make amends for yourself, man, I salute you too, brothers. God bless you. This is Uncle D, and you know, I'm out.
Accept reproductive rights, which, if you follow the news, is the most important issue for women. Is it important for you all?
Absolutely, 100%.
The most dangerous place for a black person in America is actually in our mother's stomachs, because 50% of black deaths a year in America is a.
They've been banking on fear, specifically out of fear of white supremacy racism. They want us to believe that the biggest threat to the black community is racism from outside borders.
You are now rocking with Dennis Sperling, Uncle D. And we talking about the lovely ladies out here. You gonna have to step over them bodies, baby, because it's gonna look nasty. And I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have to have your passport, and you can't shed a tear, baby. And it's only for the weak of mind. And introducing, she ain't acting right. Replace that bitch and call her Uber, get the packing light. You want a man, be the man, pull out the strap tonight. I'm on the first plane smoking, trying to catch a flight. See Maria, she do plumbing, she can fix a pipe. Molly Susie up in Thailand, she massage me right. Your employment is not needed, fire, yikes. I love it. See they falling one by one, see the changeover. Black men ain't playing games cause the game's over. PS4 and PS5 in the Range Rover. Girls nice, so lame, got a hangover.
I picked you up in my boat and I brought you here to Bangkok. And we had a sick night, bitches.
Whoa. You ready for craziest story ever?
In Bangkok, filming like it's hangover. 2,000 baht, take a thought and get your hangover. So many women, man, free, they don't need a man. 20-year-old, 30-year-old, they all holding hands. 40-year-old, 50-year-old, she ain't got a plan. Turning 60, now she ready, bitch, I'll be damned. You had a chance to keep your man, now you're fed, shouted. You the op, politically bought, with them feds, shouted. Benedict on her, you the Judas, with them Diddy parties. You gotta be ready to turn your head over them dead bodies. Stepping over, do your two-step. 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 Reproductive justice, baby, that's a murder. 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 Tell my black babies I love them. If you don't make it, it's the black fathers who suffer. Black mothers don't love you, she let the mother men touch her. Brenda had a black baby and stuffed them inside a gutter. You opened up your shutters and gave away all your butter. Thinking about yourself, you selfish piece of nothing. You be hiding, but you hiding, you don't see the angels. Part of the devil's lullaby, hearing Margaret sang her. It's no wonder why Beyonce had to switch her angles. When two witches hit them switches, all you see is danger. Abort away, our blessings delete generations. Reproductive justice, nah, black annihilation. This what happens, you allow women to run a nation. They kill an innocent without a hesitation. She can't get nothing from me. Not a touch, not a hug, nothing
and I'm
from
gonna
me.
keep showing the world what black men can truly be. And if my look, if my public giving bothers you, mother fudge cake, maybe it's because deep down you know you should be doing the same damn thing I'm doing. So stay mad. Matter of fact, put a cape on and be super mad. Hey, man. Yeah. What's up, baby? What's up? Welcome back to the broadcast. My name is Dennis Sperling, also known as Uncle D. Big shout out to Big Bass Life, man, with those beats, man. He just keep on banging them out, man. Shout out to everybody who is up in here, man. Hit the #1 button, man. Let me know you guys are in here like swimwear. I want to give a big shout out to my wrench mob. Golly, man, it's been a minute, right, since I gave a shout out to the wrench mob, man. My broadcast typically deals with issues surrounding black men, and golly, man, it's just so much to talk about and there's so much to digest. It's almost nearly impossible to really just take it all in, man. So what I want to do is just take the opportunity to kind of talk about some of these issues that everybody's talking about, man. I mean, you can't, I mean, unless you've been under the rock, you haven't been looking at your internet, you haven't been looking at anything, you know that these immigration raids are going down in a major way. I saw this video today, okay? And I'm gonna turn the sound down because I don't want to get well, I'm gonna let it play, man. Y'all hit the #1 button. Check this out, man.
460 migrants, many with long
Fair
criminal
use.
histories. But these operations aren't just limited to Boston. They're taking place all over the country. Bill Malugin is getting an exclusive look at this massive, important operation in the sanctuary city of Boston. Live now to Bill.
Yeah.
Well, Emily, we've heard officials here in Boston
So,
and in Massachusetts.
just so I can lay a context, because I know some of y'all aren't up to it, man. Donald Trump took office on the 20th. Today is the 23rd. They are already out in all these cities, these so-called sanctuary cities, rounding up people. And it's not just Latinos. They're rounding up any and everybody they can catch, and they're doing it in a real cold way. And, like, this is what America voted for, okay? And I want y'all to understand that, because this is the America that black people have been telling you about. This is the America that foundational black Americans have been talking about for decades. All right, this is America, and I want you all to see it. Somebody type "This is America" in the chat room.
Repeatedly, they are not going to cooperate with ICE or mass deportation efforts by the Trump administration. And ICE says, well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to cooperate with us. We're still going to go into your city.
We're still coming.
Do the job. And we were with ICE Boston yesterday for about 10 hours as we got to watch them firsthand carry out immigration enforcement. Take a look.
Yeah. Now check this out, right?
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston.
Now they're up in Boston, right? Shout out to everybody in Beantown, man. Hit the #1 button if you can hear me.
where this team of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments.
So what you see is what Tom Holman said is, well, we're going to go for these people who have records. But if there are any bystanders, then we're going to take that collateral too. You just not just going to be in this country and you're not supposed to be here. Keep listening.
Officers are on the move with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got moving.
Check this out. Look how they roll.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol.
I mean, here, you know, he just said he's here from El Salvador. Have any of you all seen what's going on in these El Salvadorian prisons? So this is what he has to look forward to go back to, okay? I'm going to show you something. I mean, this is going to be an all-inclusive sort of thing, okay? I want you guys to see what these El Salvadorian prisons look like right about now. They are locking these boys down, okay? Let me see if I can pull this link real quick because I want y'all to see what they're dealing with over there. Let me try to pull this link up real quick, man. Yeah, they got them locked down with T-shirts and boxer shorts, okay? This is what an El Salvadorian prison looks like right here. Let me see here if I can pull that up. That's how they got them boys locked down. So as soon as he gets back to El Salvador, they're gonna meet him. They're gonna meet him straight away at the airport. Okay, they're gonna meet him at the airport. Hold on a minute. Let me get a better shot for you guys. And he gonna be in there with the homies. Okay. It's not. It's no longer. They're not playing. I'm just saying. This is how they got them boys locked down. And if you do any research on President Bukele, these bins are like four tiers high. They get out 45 minutes a day. Okay. They locked in there. It doesn't matter if you're in there with your enemies or whatever. They get. This is where they get their water. They got one toilet for all of these boys, all these fellas, and they are never going to see the light of day. So when he says he's going back to El Salvador, I don't want you to let that pass you up and not understand the context of what's being said. He's going back to hell. 24-hour day, 7-day a week lockdown, 45 minutes. They don't even get to leave the corridor. They walk them out. They exercise them for 45 minutes. They go right back in. It's not even any place for them to sleep. Real talk. Let's keep going. Keep hitting the number 1 button if you can hear me clearly.
Notice out for his arrest.
El Salvador.
Very violent.
Fair use.
Threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti.
Listen to my boy. I want y'all to hear what he said. Listen what he said. Listen what he said.
Murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting
Listen to this dude.
Threats to our community.
He said, hey, I want you to hear him though. I want you to hear my boy say, I'm not going back to Haiti. You going back, dog. You are going back to Haiti. Look at my man. Everybody else's face, they blocked out, right? This is the low-key racism right here. Everybody else's face, they blocked out. They let you see him. Look.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
You going back to Haiti.
Is this illegal alien
you are Haiti. Going back.
ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
He said, shout out. You heard what he said? He said, shout out to Joe Biden and shout out to Barack Obama for everything. Boy, you are not making the situation better. Okay? You are not making the situation better. You are making it look like the Democrats invited you up here, and it is what it is. Keep listening. Keep listening.
To our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
You feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama.
Biden forever. No, you going home. Look, all my brothers and sisters from overseas, all the black folks, a big shout out to my man Generation Malcolm X. Good looking out, man. Thank you for being the first person to contribute to the Shoop Super Chat. Good looking out. Thank you so much. You get the rock and roll. You get the hand clap and the rock and roll. Being first up at bat. I certainly do give an appreciation for all the people who get in and kick in and contribute to the common good and the welfare. So big shout out to you, baby. But here's the thing, man. I want you brothers and sisters from overseas to understand. Y'all all like to come to the United States and you say things like, why is it that black folks in America have such a hard time? Why is it, you have all these opportunities and you never seem to be able to come up? You say your culture is superior to Black American culture, and I'm not knocking you because culture typically is something that arises so that you can deal with the environment. And see, right now we're back in a cycle, okay? And I equate this cycle to right after slavery was over and after Reconstruction over, okay, when it ended. You had a lot of white folks who was ready to reclaim their country, okay, because basically they felt that the black people who had freshly been freed were getting out of pocket. All right, so what they did was they had to assert themselves. And so it comes in waves. And this might be the first wave of retribution that you see happening, okay? Black folks have dealt with this. We dealt with Reconstruction, and then from that, you got 50 years of Jim Crow. All right, then we fought them on that and fought back, and we got civil rights. In 1965, we reemerged. All right, with some steps, but we had to fight. Okay, and then they hit us with the war on drugs because they was like, man, they fought too hard. We got to use this war on drugs and really mask it as a war on the black community. We got to separate them from their power base, and that power base is the black family. And they did everything they could to try to undermine the black community, which had come together and literally tore this country apart and made it change, something it didn't want to do. We literally changed the social structure, which was segregation, et cetera, and we forced them to change. And they're like, nah, we can't do that. And so they hit us with the crack epidemic. They threw some drugs in there. They threw some prison industrial complex in there. And we had to deal with that, and we came out. In the meantime, y'all showed up in the 1980s saying, oh my God, America's great. You got all these rights. All right? You got all these rights. What's wrong with these black people? Why can't they do what we're doing? So now here we are, and the white folks took it too far. Okay, they went from civil rights for black people to all these other rights they got these rainbow rights. We went from civil rights to rainbow rights. Somebody type rainbow rights in the chat room. Somebody type rainbow rights in the chat room. We went from civil rights for black folks to rainbow rights for anybody else. They, them, him, hers, she, he's, gender, well, all that. You see, so now you're in a situation where you all are catching the front end of white folk reasserting themselves because they don't like the way the country is headed. It's the same thing that happened after slavery ended. They didn't like the direction. Black folk had just got free. They was fighting white people. You down in Kentucky and you fighting your former master's grandson. Okay, and he used to being able to call you the N-word, and now you got these federal troops here, so you can go toe-to-toe with them. Y'all get my likes up. Get my likes up. As you type rainbow rights, get my likes up. And so now, your rainbow righteous right warrior took it too far, okay? And white folk like, nah, hell nah. Matter of fact, we're going to start. Not only are we going to rescind these rainbow rights, we're going to put these women back in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, and we're going to send all of these brown people back to the shithole countries that they came from. I'm just saying what they thinking. You don't have to like me, okay? I'm just telling you what they thinking. And so notice, this is the type of diversity they like. They sent a bunch of Latinos home and a black dude. This is what you're looking at right here. Now, for all the black folk from the Caribbean and Africa, you've been over here too. This is the America that we've been telling you about. This is why we have the culture that we have. Because the white man giveth and the white man taketh away. Hallelujah. I'm just saying. And I'm trying to be humorous with this, but we've been telling y'all it was coming and y'all didn't believe us. Didn't we tell them this is the America that our grandparents and fathers and mothers told us about? This is the America. Now, I voted for Trump knowing that it was going to be a fallout. I voted for Trump knowing that because I am a foundational Black American man with foundational Black American roots and foundational Black American family, I already knew we're going to be good. We're going to deal with it. It's going to be what it's going to be, but we're going to deal with it. We've dealt with worse, but at the end of the day, what I want y'all to understand is this. Check this out. Hear me. And this is something that may not register to many of you all, but I want you to understand something. So a lot of people are making a big deal about Snoop Dogg and Nelly and the other gangster rappers and whatnot performing at Trump's event. Okay. Now Trump didn't really have a whole lot of black people in his panel. He had one dude on his and I'm sidetracking for a minute, but I want y'all to understand something. Trump didn't really have a whole lot of black folks in his cabinet. But he did invite some very popular rappers that he would definitely know about. Nelly, he invited Rick Ross, he invited who else? Snoop Dogg. That's because he's telegraphing to black people, y'all good with me. I'm not coming for y'all. That's what that's about. Y'all good with me. I'm not coming for y'all. You know what I mean? Now, he didn't invite Fat Joe. He didn't invite, speak on somebody, Scotty, name somebody, Pitbull, right? He invited these very popular black rappers. You got to be able to read the tea leaves out here. Okay, he's sending a message. You black Americans, y'all cool with me, even though 80% of black men or 79% of black men voted for Kamala and about 90% of black women voted for Kamala. That 20% of black men, y'all have my back. A strong 9% or so of black women, y'all have my back. Y'all cool with me. I'm not coming for y'all. That's what I'm saying. And you got to be able to read the tea leaves. So I'm gonna just say it how it is. This is not really our fight. Okay? As far as black Americans are concerned and all these immigrants, the illegal immigrant raids and such, this is not really our fight. Okay, let's just keep it 100. Now I'm gonna show y'all the rest of this, and then
is this illegal alien from Haiti?
You're going home, brother.
He's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions.
17
in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Lil Biden forever, bro.
I love Biden forever. You ain't helping the situation. Okay.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets.
They going.
Including this illegal alien from Brazil, who has an Interpol red notice for armed
Brazil.
robbery.
You going back to Brazil? El Salvador, Haiti, Brazil.
Charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary.
Oh Lord, not the R word.
And this Dominican illegal alien.
Dominican. You going back to PRP
and heroin trafficking.
Woo,
Officers also arrested
send him
this
home.
Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he
MS-13. He going home. All of them going home. This is not our fight. Let's keep listening.
Just the day before, their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies.
Yeah.
And in
So
a
this
sign
cat,
of shifting priorities with the
so this dude right here, 6 detainer. Okay. I said, hold him. This dude keep getting arrested. Hold him. They keep letting him out. All that's over. You see what I mean? You got these people running around the streets creating mayhem and crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a lot of black people who are not foundational black Americans, and they committing a lot of crimes and doing a lot of mayhem, and they look like they're black American, but in reality they're not. You see? And that's something that, they hide amongst black Americans, and we like, oh, that's a brother getting by the police and arrested. But a lot of them might be Jamaican, they might be Haitian, they something else, but they're not quite black American, and we have to take the fall from that. Keep listening.
The new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally.
But you got a dude right here. He was just in the apartment with the guy who had the criminal record, and they swooped him up too. Y'all get the likes up, man. Come on, man. I got a lot of people up in here, man. Hit the like button, man. We need to get these likes up. Y'all hit it don't cost nothing to pay to get these likes, man. Hit the like button. Let's get this algorithm popping. Keep listening.
This is what ICE calls collateral.
Collateral.
You guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
Somebody type collateral in the chat room. Collateral damage. Keep listening.
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, no longer a detainer. That person was released back into the communities, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others. Others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today, they're going to do their job.
Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our...
They got them up out of there. So, I mean, this is not just right there, man. This is everywhere, man. They are. I want you to see this video. Look at this, man. They are scattering. This is just stuff I pulled in from the day, man. Look at that. Hold on a minute. Hit somebody type ICE in the chat room. No, better yet, somebody type you're going home in the chat room. Keep looking. Look at that. They got them. They are rolling up out of there, man. Look at them running. They raiding buildings, raiding facilities. Look at them rolling up out of there, man. Woo-wee. You're going home. You're going home. And, a lot of black people are just kind of on the sidelines on this one. You see what I mean? Are going home. This looks like Houston to me. Now, and here's another one, right? I mean, they are running them up out. Look at they just pull these straight up out the truck. Look at this. They pulling them out the truck. Hold on, I don't want to get that music. I don't want that music to mess up my whatchamacallit. But look at that, man. They running them up out of there, man. This is Yuma, Arizona. They everywhere at the same time, man. They pulling them out of trucks. They pulling them everywhere, man. They getting them down on the ground, man. This is real business they got going on here, man. And here's another. This was the coldest one right here. Let me let you check this out. So my man is working, looks like a fast food restaurant, okay? Now, I'm a loosely interpret what he's saying. And you see that smile on his face? Hey, puto means hey, female dog. He's smiling, but he ain't happy. Somebody type he's smiling, but he ain't happy in the chat room. He ain't happy. He really talking like he hurt. He hurt. His homies tipped him off. The homies that he thought was cool with him. You know, it's gonna be a lot of that. A lot of Latino dudes you trying to get rid of. Your girl, your baby mama, new baby daddy. So you out there calling the 1-800 number. They got a real live 1-800 number. Your baby, your old baby, your baby mama, old new baby daddy going to jail because you didn't call Immigrant on them. You didn't call ICE on them, man. They snitching each other's out, man. This is a quick way to get rid of your competition, man. You want that promotion over at the construction site? Just call his phone number. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's treacherous out here. You tired of your husband cheating on you? Huh? He down there with his other chick at the hotel. Just call ICE on him and get him up out of here, man. That's what you see happening, man. He ain't happy. He is not happy, man. My man smiling, but he was working in the restaurant. He ain't happy, man. This is some cold game, man. This is cold. This is America. Woo! Somebody type, "This is America" in the chat room. Get my likes up, man. Get my likes up, man. I'm out here freestyling this, man. I need y'all to get my likes up. So, nevertheless, we are who we are as people. Okay, we are who we are as people. And I saw this message right here, this Latina lady. Shout out to the Latina. Listen to the beautiful words that she says about y'all. All right, listen to this.
I really don't even know how to say this because no words can really express the appreciation I have for the Black community right now.
Praise God. I know.
Thank you.
Listen, she thank you. Somebody say you're welcome.
So much from the bottom of my heart.
What we do, baby girl? What we do?
And I know I'm speaking on behalf of many Mexicans right now.
Yes, praise God. Shout out to the Latinos and the Mexicanos.
You guys, if you guys don't know.
Now keep in mind, 40% of the illegal immigrants in the United States are Mexican. I want you to understand that.
They're coming into our schools and they're taking our children.
I want you to listen to what's going on.
That way, when the parents come up to pick up the kids, they deport them.
Did you hear that? You hear how treacherous that is? They go pick your kid up from school because you're an illegal immigrant, okay? They pick your child up from the school. And so now your child is down at the ICE office. And what, you gonna leave your kid there? No, you're gonna go get your kid. You're gonna go get your kid. You're gonna go get your child. And when you there, they're like, oh yeah, that's mom, that's there. All right, yeah, cool. Come on, lock them up. Ain't that cold, man? To use your own child as bait, man. That's what they doing. That's some cold game, man. Shout out to my man B. Tinsdale. Thanks for being a new member. Do y'all hear what they doing? And get my likes up, man. Hit the like button. Hit the LIKE button right now before I play some more rap music. Hit the like button. But you hear how cold that is? What do you that look how crossed up you are. Either you just ignore the fact that the federal agents have taken your child, or you go down there knowing as soon as you go down there, they're going to lock you in handcuffs, put you in a cage, and send everybody home. Now, there was a time, okay, when the federal immigration authorities were not permitted to target schools and churches, but President Trump just signed all that. He revoked that directive, okay, that used to bar arrests from sensitive areas, okay? And so now not only can they conduct raids in schools, but they can also go get you out to church. You down there try to pray that the ICE don't get you, okay? You praying that ICE don't get you, and they waiting right there behind your pew. They sitting behind your pew when it's time to go. Shout out to my man, brother from down under. Great day to be alive, black folks. Enjoy the show. So this is a situation, man. This is a tough situation that they're dealing with, man. And, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's keep, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break, man. Y'all hit the #1 button, man. Y'all make sure y'all kick in. Show me some love by contributing to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. I'm going to be right back in a minute, man. But show me some love if you appreciate what I'm doing. I'll be right back. Black father, I have black son.
Tune in, we be feeling the spine. From the heart, real talking night. Every episode brings the light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's family. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Let the spirits always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight.
Man, I want to give a big shout out to these young brothers right here, man. These are my boys. Shout out to this one right here, just about to go to college. And then I got this one over here. He doing his thing, man. But we'll catch y'all in a minute. I'm going to let this finish rolling, and we'll be right back. But y'all hang in there, man. Hit the like button. Get the likes up. I'll be right back.
In this burning podcast, click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate, watch the we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back, he don't play that. We don't play back, we don't play back. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn some. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Burden Podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. Yeah. Welcome back. And shout out to the Heir Apparent and the Crimson Sun, man. Look. So we are talking about the realities of what's going on. I was just looking at this video right here. I saw this earlier. This young Mexican lady is thanking Black women specifically. Shout out to Reed Pink. Hey, Uncle D, much love from Illinois. Shout out to Illinois, baby. What's happening in Illinois? What's up, Illinois? Chi-town. What's going on up there, man, in Chi-town? Shout out to all my people. I got to go up there. I love hanging out in Illinois and Detroit. I should have, you know what? They got some good property up there in Detroit and Illinois. You guys, if you want to invest in something, and that's another thing. I'm going to get off track for a minute. Trump is tariffing the hell out of these foreign corporations. Anything you want to bring into the United States, you got to pay 25%, 10% extra. If you build it here, it's cheaper. You see what I mean? So what's going to end up happening, he's going to bring industry back to the Midwest. Right now is the best time to go ahead and start investing in those shout-out houses outside of Pittsburgh and outside of Detroit and outside of some of these shout-out towns. The Rust Belt, it's going down in the Rust Belt. If you own property up there, you definitely need to go ahead and invest and buy some of those cheap houses and whatnot. But that's my little break. Let's get back to this lady who is thanking Black people. Let's continue.
You guys, if you guys don't know, they're coming into our schools and they're taking our children.
The children. Woo!
That way, when the parents come up to pick up the kids, they deport them.
Yep.
The Black community, guys.
It ain't all of us, baby girl, but we'll go ahead. Let's listen.
Black women teachers.
Them Black women, they take care of everybody.
That's all I've seen so far. Black women teachers. I'm sure there's some Black male teachers, but Black women teachers are saying they're willing to fight for our kids.
They are willing to fight.
I don't think you understand.
On behalf of Black people, that Black women are willing to fight. Praise God. Let's keep listening. But no, truthfully, you know, you got to understand. Let me let her finish so she can get the context.
What that means. I don't think you understand what level of sacrifice that is. We all know through history.
Yes, you do.
The police brutality that the Black community has gone through. They're basically saying they're willing to die for our kids.
Yes. And go ahead. Now, I want you to understand something. And I've been saying this for years. First of all, on behalf of all of Black America, we are a wonderful and beautiful and fantastic group of people. And we truly are the moral compass of this country. And we do not like to see injustice happening to anybody because we have had to endure so much injustice as Black people. Okay. The thing is, we have been trying to inform you all of the foolishness that can happen if you let your guard down. Now, you may wonder why Black people, Black folks, specifically foundational Black American people, anytime we even smell radar, when we feel racism, our little radar goes up, and we like, you might think that we are oversensitive, okay, when it comes to racial bigotry and whatnot. But in reality, we know what we are. And we know if you let this thing roll on and you don't check it real quick, it can get out of hand, okay? It's like going to a goddamn barn burn with a bunch of white folk. As soon as the beer comes out and you hear, woo, it's time to get yourself up out of there. That's what it's time to do quickly. It's time to get out of there because it's about to go down. At 9:15, it's time to get yourself up out of there. We know it, okay? You all didn't know it, you see? But the thing about Black people, the greatest thing about us and the worst thing about us, we don't know how to turn the other cheek and mind our business. It doesn't matter if it's Latinos or Asians or gay people or whatever. We always want to jump in front of the protest parade. Black women are notoriously known for putting themselves in the middle of a fight that has nothing to do with them. And the simps that we have in the Black community, shout out to all the brothers, when we see Black women having to deal with it, then the simp in us say, oh man, she look like my mama, and we get drug into it, okay? Now that don't mean we can't be petty. That doesn't mean that we don't do all the N-word stuff that you see us doing. We will kick you down the steps and take your welfare check and go buy some 40 ounces, all right? And I'm not saying we can't be petty, but we are very noble people. We are very noble, wonderful people. And in this particular situation, I'm going to accept your thanks on behalf of the whole foundational Black American people right now, okay? But let's continue listening to this young woman give us this love and attention for our willingness to sacrifice. Keep on listening.
We all know what happens and the risk that they are taking.
She talking about
for being a Black victim in that kind of scenario.
You say they willing to die. I don't know about that, but they are willing to jump in front of the ice and talk real loud and say, you need lady kids. They are willing to do that and get on camera and perform and bring attention to the situation. I don't know a whole lot of sisters is willing to take a bullet, okay? Because they be like, well, you know, baby, you gotta go. You can always hit your mama up on WhatsApp if you get sent back to Mexico. Okay, I'm just keeping it 100, which I know my people, and they will at some point risk their life, but usually, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let's keep listening.
That's a whole other level of love and sacrifice. And thank you so much. And us as Mexicans, we need to like completely have their backs.
Yeah, y'all need to completely be willing. That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to stop saying the N-word. That y'all need to stop being racist. Y'all need to introduce everybody to your grandma who was very dark skinned and a Black woman. You need to start doing that. That's what you need to do. Okay, if you all with us now, right now that we willing to jump in front of the bus for you. Okay, now we willing to help you save your kids. Okay, well then let's take that a little further. That's what I want you to do. Take it a little further. But again, Black women are always willing to get in other people's business that don't belong to them. But either way, this is how we end up being great. And we at the same time, let's keep listening.
To die for their children too, and put our lives on the line. Thank you so much. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. Now, if you just want to know, Mexico was actually the first North American country to free, to outlaw slavery. Okay, I want to say that the second president of Mexico was actually a Black man or a mulatto man, and he wasn't having no parts of slavery. Now, they end up assassinating him. He ended up disappearing, okay? He got unalived some kind of way. But the bottom line is, so Mexico, a lot of people say Black people ran north. A lot of Black people ran to Mexico. It's some enclaves in Mexico of dark-skinned Black people, Mexicans who are descended from the Africans who ran to Mexico. Even the Alamo. We always talk about, remember the Alamo? Well, what happened was, somebody typed what happened was the Texans, who were really North Mexicans at that time, white people, they wanted to bring their African slaves, Black slaves, over to Mexico. And Mexico's like, no, you're not going to do that. So, the Mexican government went up and fought the Texans, right? And they cornered a bunch of them in the Alamo. And Santa Anna was the general. And they shot a whole bunch of them and said, you're not going to bring those Black people to northern Mexico. And of course, white people doing what white people do back then, right? They said, nope, we're going to use that as a reason to invade all the way down into Mexico City. And then we're going to take part of your property and we're going to make y'all pay these these white Texans for the money you stole from them in the form of their slavery, their slaves that they lost. It was a real mess. But the bottom line is the Mexicans were, for the most part, against slavery. And that's why the Alamo happened, because the Texans were trying to bring them in. You know, it is what it is. It's history. Look it up. You don't like it. I don't care if you don't like it. But it's the truth, okay? So shout out to all the Mexican brothers and sisters out there, man. I got much love for you. But y'all need to cut that racism out. You're a little bit racist. Y'all, I hear you. I know your little words. I'll be speaking your Spanish. Get my likes up. Let's keep listening to it. Let's keep listening. Y'all sweet. Look at you.
That is just like...
Yeah, shout out to all the fine, thick
so
Latinos
beautiful, and I know you're gonna go to heaven for that. I know that there's a beautiful place in heaven for you for that. Sincerely, for willing to do that for us.
No, we don't want to die for it though, baby. We don't want to go to heaven for that. Praise God.
Sincerely, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, baby. You're welcome. We don't want to see nobody in pain, okay? But y'all knew this fool was getting elected. Now, let me say, on the flip side, just so I can show you just how petty we are. If somebody type petty in the chat room, I'm gonna make this a little bigger just so you can see just how petty we can be. See this right here? Somebody type Keisha and them. Keisha and them found out if you dial 1-800-347-2423, that is the telephone number for ICE. That's the ICE hotline. Okay, she found out that if you call the ICE hotline and you report the location of illegal immigrants, they will give you $750, okay, per reporting. And once Keisha and them found out, I'm just saying, let's not, black people, let's keep it 100. We know who we are. We are a little petty, okay? So, see what
the Mexico, Chambly, Beaufort side, all that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, they always be at the gas stations too. All the gas stations. QT, they be at the QT when you get off on Is that Turner Hill, the one that's over there by the Six Flags? What exit is that? Them all the Mexicans be outside. What Riverside Drive, like right before you get to Six Flags. You get off on the exit and that QT when you turn right and the QT on your left hand side. Oh, they over there too. All the time.
Keisha gonna tell her. Look, Keisha snitch on black men. She snitch on everybody. She snitch on her mama, her best friends, her cousin. $750. Keisha get her lashes done. She can get her feet done and her fingernails done for $750, and all she got to do is dial 1-800-347-2423. That's all she got. She gonna camp out at the Home Depot. She gonna be right there in front of Lowe's, ready to collect her check. Do y'all paying cash? Y'all gonna when they find out they can be cash up that $750, man, you gonna have a whole patrol force out there. Okay, I'm just telling you who you're dealing with. This is Keisha. So I appreciate the little Mexican lady saying how noble we are and that we gonna go to heaven. And that's kind of you. That's very kind of you to say that. But some of us are not gonna go to heaven. Some of us, if saving little children from getting deported means we're gonna go to heaven, then I promise you, it's some of us that's going straight to hell. Because some of us want that $750. It's hard. They cutting down on the food stamps. But you know, like I say, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. You take away the food stamps over here, but over here you get $750 if you dial 1-800-347-2423. Okay? Again, ICE has a hotline set up, and you can't expect Keisha and them, all right? You can't expect Keisha and them not to do that. And see, here's another thing. Let's not put this all on Keisha. Okay? We can't put it all on Keisha because Pookie and them, who work with you down there stocking groceries at Walmart, you know, he don't really like you that much, Jose. He don't really like you that much. And he know you don't have your papers. So what you might end up finding, you've been flossing too hard. Okay, you showing up there, you coming through with your car, you got sounds, you know what I mean? He found out from HR you make a little bit more money than him. So I'm saying, but you don't have your papers. So Tyrone and Jamal and them like, look, man, we gonna split this 750. When Paco come through, when Jose come through, shoot, we gonna go ahead and call that phone number, 1-800-347-2423, and we're gonna have you picked up right quick, and then we just gonna get the money and split it. You see what I'm saying? I already know. So we can't put this off on Keisha. Again, we are noble and wonderful and fantastic people, but you got to understand it's hard out here for some of us. Okay, it's hard out here for some of us, and some of us gonna snitch. Now, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I support you. I love you. I don't need the money, but I'm just telling you, my people. Some of them gonna snitch. Okay, like Keisha right here, she gonna tell it. Somebody type "tell it" in the chat room. She gonna tell.
And then on the east side, you get off on
look at
South Harrison, North Harrison, and you go over there to the gas station, like almost to the highway. Yes, there, that gas station right there too. Always on the corner. She
gonna tell it. Yeah, she gonna tell it. So you got to take the good with the bad. All right, we love you. We got school teachers that's gonna stop immigration from taking your children, and they willing to take a bullet for you. But then you got Keisha and them who gonna tell it. They straight snitching for the 750 because they offered money. You know what I mean? Like, what did you do? Like 1-800-347-2423.
Oh, they always.
Yeah, they calling that number for $750. I'm trying to tell you, my people, I love my people. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I know who they are. On one hand, they like, yeah, man, I'll be taking them kids up in here. Forget you, F the police, blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, they like, look, they right over there in front of the grocery store right there. They right there. I'm looking at it right now. It's like 4 of them. Is that $750 a piece or is it $750 a call? Because I can call back 4 times. Okay. That means I'm going to get 3,000. I know my people. I know my people. They could be petty. We noble and a wonderful people, but we can also be petty. Okay. And y'all know somebody type petty as hell in the chat room. We got baby mamas. You know you petty, right? Come on. Let's keep it 100, man. We know. All right. And let me tell you, and it's not just Keisha now. All right. Well, shout out to Chicago. I'm glad we had a chance to acknowledge Chicago, because Chicago, the whole town ready to snitch. They ready to tell it. Let's look at this sister right here. Listen, fair use. Let me try to make sure I don't get my little demonetization. Listen to her.
Who
can y'all hear that?
Sued the city over its handling of the migrant.
Can y'all hear her? Let me know if you can hear. If you can hear, hit the number 1 button and get my likes up. And where my super chats at? Come on, let's get my super chat. We got 5 super chats. I'm gonna need 10 tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us. First
Look,
up,
she looked like she gonna tell it. Somebody type Chicago in the chat room. She looked like she gonna tell.
What was your reaction to the president's words there?
Positive.
Can y'all let me know? Can y'all hear what she's saying? Yeah. Let me know if you can hear it.
Changes on the whole American.
Somebody, she said, pray for president. Can y'all hear this? She dressed somebody. Y'all talk a little. Look.
Pray for this administration. Pray for this country. I think that if we're all on the same accord.
Speed it up a little bit because I don't want no problems. Let me go ahead and shoot this a little faster than that, man. Let's get to the point, baby girl.
You've heard people talk a lot about in the last couple of days about peace, about love, about protections, about the good of the country. And I want us to keep those things at the forefront of focus as we get into see a lot of here in Chicago. We're excited. We're excited to see that something is about to happen.
We are excited to see that something is about to happen. You heard what she said. We are excited. You see what's happening, and she's excited to see it. So again, we appreciate our Mexican friends for saying stand in front of the bullet. And I love you. We love you too. We love the kids, but they gonna tell. Okay, they gonna tell. It's some telling. Gonna shout out in between flights. Some they telling too.
To be a change. We cannot.
And I just want you to understand, all my Latino friends, we telling on Haitians too. It's some Jamaicans and some Haitians and some Trinidadians. And there's a lot of Africans, a lot of Nigerians. And we're going to get that $750 for them. I'm just saying. So we are equal opportunity snitchers. We snitch on black, white, everybody. They paying $750 per telling it. That's the phone number. We passed that number is on chat rooms at this point. We passing this number around, man. I'm trying to help y'all out, baby. Be careful out there, okay? Be careful. They sending them home. They're going home. Somebody type going home in the chat room.
Continue to hemorrhage money in the city the way that we have been. I do have some concerns, though, about the fact that I do know that
you hear what she said?
Illegals how to be more illegal, if you will.
Look, she started off saying, look, we love everybody, everybody's cool, we cool to everybody, but we're excited to see what's about to happen, okay? And we're very disappointed that the schoolhouse is teaching people how to dodge ICE. That's, you heard what she said. She meant every bit of that. You got to read between the lines. We trying to get rid of all these. This is how they feel. Look, I'm just saying, and mind you, most black people voted against Trump, okay? That just let you know just how two-faced we can be. Somebody type two-faced in the chat room. Shout out to Just For My Says, my new side hustle, the snitching on illegal. See, this is the truth. See, we speak the truth on this page. This is the truth. Even if you look like you an illegal, you can guarantee somebody's going to be telling on you. This is where we at right now.
That's troubling for me, but I have complete faith and confidence in Tom Homan and in our current.
I have complete faith in Tom Homan. Tom Homan said he's separating, he's sending everybody home. This. Look at you. I appreciate the little lady. You do the little lady. Look at what she said up earlier. Y'all good people. Y'all appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna
don't even know how to say this because no words can really express the appreciation I have for the Black community right now.
I know. But see, let's not lie to them. Let's not lie to them. We know us, $750. We know us. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I ain't gonna be out here making up stuff. Okay, I'm not lying to nobody. I know my people. They'll tell on me for $750. You see what I'm saying? Hell, I tell on myself. I'll fight it. Yeah. Fair use. Target list.
Plan was released. So we got to look at and reevaluate. Does this raise officer safety concerns? And it does. But we've addressed that and teams are all effective today.
Okay, so how confident are you that they're going to right the ship there in Chicago that's been dealing with this crisis?
I'm very confident. I am confident in this administration. I am confident in Tom Homan getting things done. And I am confident that the Chicagoans are going to step up. We're ready to assist in any way we can. There are those of us
ready to assist in any way we can. They're gonna call that number. I'm trying to tell you, nobody's safe. Anytime you get Black women involved, look, they could find their baby daddy. When the police came, okay, they finding everybody. All right, you don't think they see? Look at them. Look, Black women are the original Karens. You know that old grandma that used to sit on the steps. She know everybody's business, who doing what, who cheating with who. I'm trying to tell. This is not funny. This is not a funny conversation. I'm not being funny. I'm just telling you what's going on. But this is what America voted for. This is angry. This is the America that Black folk was talking about. It's just that we are not the ones that are the primary target at this point. See, that's the difference. We ain't it. That's why Trump had Nelly and Snoop Dogg out there. You Black people are cool. Come on out, Snoop. Let them know we cool. I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you. Let's keep it listening.
Us who are willing to work with this administration to make sure that people who are here illegally are sent back home. We want to also make sure that those criminals who came here to set up their...
not just criminals. We making sure people who are here illegally are sent home. That's everybody. Somebody tired. Everybody in the chat room. Everybody got to go. Keep listening.
Criminal operations, again, are sent home. And so whatever we have to do as Chicagoans to assist with that, we're ready and willing to help.
Okay. Here is more from President.
Ready and willing to help. This is where we at. $750 if you call it. They should pay me for bro. I should get a referral. We should have like a pyramid scheme. If you have a link, you call through my link, and I should get at least $75 per call. Everybody, I got a lot of people in there. I know I got some people that'll tell it. I know y'all don't care about a damn thing. And then in turn, y'all go right back down there and be, oh man, I didn't know you got sent home. Damn, I didn't know. I thought you was from Illinois, baby. You just got, now they sent you home, huh? Yeah, bring me another margarita. I know my people. You're petty. Let's keep listening.
Trump vowing to take back our cities. Okay, CF1, guys.
I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of.
I will use everything allowed under federal law enforcement to bring our city streets under control. I'm working on my Trump. Y'all give me a minute. I'm gonna work on that Trump, and I'm gonna have it down.
All foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities.
We're going to bring law and order back to our streets. Let's keep listening, man.
All right, so he is making some big promises here. I want to ask you about what people are saying on the ground there in Chicago. We know this is a Dem-led city. We know there are a lot of Democrat voters in that town. Are you hearing people come around on these policies, seeing the problems that city has had?
Yeah. Look at the smiling though. Look at the lady smiling up there. Shout out to my man 414. How many calls I need for a villa in the DR? Boy, you ugly on the inside for saying that. You ugly. You are so ugly. 414 money 199. You ugly for saying how many calls do you need? Now let me do some calculations for you. Okay, so an average villa is gonna run you, let's say 150,000. Okay, let's say you can get you a nice villa for $150,000. Okay, 150,000 divided by $750 equals 200 phone calls. Baby, you can do that standing on your head. All you need is 200 phone calls, and you can have your villa in the DR. 200. Somebody type 200. You messy though, and I hate that you put me up to doing that. But 200 phone calls, and you can have a villa in the DR, girl. 200. You'll get that. You can get that. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. 200 phone, 750. Ooh, you make 200 phone calls. That's 150,000. Boy, it's money for everybody out here. Look. I'm not messy. Okay, but if it's some money to be made, let's go ahead and make this money. And shout out to my man Simeon Toka. How many mangoes can you get for $750, bro? They're like a quarter a piece. You get all of that. Okay, I'm just saying. Look, 200 phone call. I mean, we could get like a phone pool together. Okay. They don't really like, well, all my Jamaican and Haitians have been talking stuff about black.
Well, here's the thing that people
have no culture. Look, fellas, let's say you got a foreign baby mama. Ladies, you got a foreign baby daddy. You're tired of him. Make that phone call. He don't want to pay his child support. Make that phone call. He got another chick on the side. Make that phone call. I'm just saying it's available. It's available to you. He ain't supposed to be here no way. You already broke the law. You shouldn't have came over here. And he got the nerve to try to break your heart. Make that phone. You got a roommate you don't like. Make that phone call. Let's say you got a roommate in college. Okay? You don't like them. They keep wearing all your clothes and stealing your cologne. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to help you out. Trying to help. Mark the freelancer, Pablo Telemarketing Services. There it is, PTS. I'm just saying, this is an opportunity for everybody, man. Keep listening.
I think fail to understand about Chicagoans is that most of us are not okay with what is happening. Most of us are not okay with the migrant crisis. And in spite of what you may hear, we are not happy about what is happening here.
She looked like she is not happy about a lot of things. And this right here is where she's able to focus her unhappiness.
So we're excited.
Keep listening to she got, look at the little dress she got on though. My girl got the little see-through. She got the see-through. Oh, look at with the see-through, girl. You going to look at you.
President Trump is in office. We are excited that Tom Homan and his team is coming here to help us out of this mess that our mayor and governor seem to be content on keeping us in.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You see how fast she talking and whatnot? I know I got to speed it up a little bit. We are excited. That means a lot when they start putting them extra T's on it.
Point, the governor of your state says that Trump's scaring people. So is that true?
I guess I'm putting that up to let you know that people are not upset that folk are getting sent home. Okay. My man Black saying we are all bounty hunters now. Thanks for the heads up. Here's your cut. Appreciate you. What I'm trying to explain to these folks.
No, not at all. Not at all. And let me tell you something.
I want to help the Democrats at all. Damn, let's keep
people either voted overwhelmingly for Trump or they stayed home. And the fact that people did that, those 4 people who stayed home and didn't show up to vote, it was still an attack on that party, on that Democratic Party. Say to you, people are happy with this. So in spite of what you may hear our governor say, the people are quite okay with what's happening.
Understood.
The people are okay. You hear that? So let me explain something to y'all, and this is important. The reason I brought this up, and I have it under the subtext. So the Democrats think they have a messaging problem. They think that they are not communicating their platform correctly. Okay, what they don't realize is the folks, even black folks, with a #1 all the way out stomped down dog, been down with them for decades now. We don't like all these immigrants over here. Now I know. We people of color, right? That's what we are. We stopped being black sometime about 10, 15 years ago. We people of color, and we all supposed to stick together. But it seemed to us like y'all not really sticking with us like that, okay? And that's what I think black folks are saying. Now, the other thing you got to understand is it don't matter how many immigrants and folk you see crying, how many, immigrants, lady crying, they don't care. That's what I'm trying to point out to you. This is going to happen. Okay? That's what I'm trying to point out to you. This is going to happen. And you don't have black people supporting you. And we've been trying to tell you what America really is. Okay? Hell, even in this election, 80% of black men or 79% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. 93% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Because we know this is going to unleash the gates and it's going to let that white rage come out and swarm the country. We've been through it. We've been through it. We did it. That's why we got all our own stuff, our own colleges, our own churches, our own communities, our own neighborhoods. Because we didn't want to deal with them. Being separate from white folks was good for us. You see what I mean? That's another thing now. We know who we dealing with. I tell people all the time, black people and white people in America have a special relationship. We understand each other. For the most part, we leave them alone. They leave us alone. It's you other folk who come from other countries who want to go hang out in them white spaces. It's a lot of you immigrant brothers that want to go marry them white women. A lot of you immigrant sisters that want to marry those white men. We leave them alone. They leave us alone. Now, of course, that's not uniform across the board, but for the most part, we know them, they know us. We've been here 500 years. We get it. Y'all coming over messing up the status quo. And now you having to suffer the consequences because you played yourself. This is who they really are.
And I always appreciate when you can.
And who be us to stand by and let y'all not get what you asked for. Keep listening.
Join us. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, she giddy.
Hey, everyone.
She is giddy out there about that, man. Giddy out there about that. Shout out to Chicago. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I know I'm sounding real ugly right now. Okay? I know it's real ugly right now, the way I'm talking. But this is the reality of it, man. You can't have 14 million people flood our southern border, then be bused to the inner city communities in Chicago and LA and Denver and New York, and then think we just supposed to kick it and just be all right with it. That's not how that works, man. And the way this man has implemented this program is both stunning and amazing. All right, now I'm gonna segue into something else. We're gonna talk about birthright citizenship because I want you to learn something. And when I come back, we're gonna talk about anchor baby. Somebody type anchor baby in the chat room. When I come back, we're gonna talk about anchor babies in the chat room. We are going to talk about birthright citizenship in the chat room, and we're gonna go into detail. We are gonna have a whole law school lesson about birthright citizenship when I come back. All right, so you'll learn something. You're not gonna come to this page and not learn something. That's what I do. I beat you up with knowledge. I beat you up with good information so that you can be ready for the conversation, so you can sound like you have some damn sense when you're talking to people. That's separate. That's different from this page from everybody. What I need y'all is good music. Okay, I'm gonna go get Magellan water because my throat is dry. As we say in the ghetto, my throat is dry, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm having too much of a good time up in here, man. Y'all hit the #1 button, man. Show me some love with some super chats or something. But we're gonna be right back. Yeah, we'll be not. That ain't gonna work. Let me hold on a minute. I pushed the wrong damn button. Okay, that means I need to go on and take me a little quick break. Okay, but y'all hit the #1 button again, as I said before. Make sure you show me.
You young men were willing to compromise your masculinity. Like, we weren't willing to compromise our masculinity. We wanted to be men. We wanted to be strong. We wanted to have our own cars. We wanted to have our own places. We wanted to have everything that was. We act tough. We talk tough. We walk tough. And so you had to be tough. But a lot of you young guys say, nah, I don't want to be tough. I want to paint my fingernails. All right? You know, I don't want to be tough. I'm going to go pretend like I'm one of them off-brand dudes in the Rainbow Coalition. That's on you.
The only people that continue to marry you guys is us, black men.
Dennis Burley.
A lot of men like women, but they don't like feminine energy.
The only black man in this space that been giving you. We men, be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, salute, be masculine. Stepdaddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine. His daddy was locked up, he been in jail. Mama, she put him there. Only son, he in a cell. Got his hair braided so long, painted fingernails. Mama drama never grew up to be a male. Arguing, cussing, she back at me. Argumentative, oh now calling me sassy. She ain't got a man ever since she left Pappy. Negative energy, all of these women happy. But on the positive, can't leave her natural hair nappy. She really hate herself, that's why she always snapping. Notice how masculine all of the women rapping. Really wanna be us, cheeks out here clapping. Racing to the court, money trying just to extort him. Running to the clinic when it's time to abort him. Hypocritical killer, these children ain't orphans. Faking feminine, pay for the coffin. Fetus after fetus is generational offering. Be masculine, we men, be men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, be masculine.
Wake up! You are making those black men have a level of disdain that they never thought that they would have. Black women still running around there thinking that there's more black men in prison than black men in college. Fuck all y'all.
I knew her since the 5th grade. Nice guy, she curved, said he was bitch made. Now that bitch so cold, she like a switchblade. She don't answer the note, cause she big babe. She big back, she big broke, that's big facts. Throat goat, her boat float for big sacks. Light skin, she so lit for big black. BBC to BBL, she BBD. When you gon' give your son some man time and tell your daughter to get her ass out the man line? Make that appointment, stop showing your tan line. Use your heart, but that it's just a landmine. Our hood dead, black women wearing the Klan hoods. Over 22 million Planned Parenthood. If you don't love the babies, how you gon' love me? Ain't no love, that's why she charging the love fee. She talking Brad, you kiss my ass, I'm thug free. Most beautiful women are looking ugly. Not missing the beat, we make the game different. Change lives and all it took was a plane ticket. We on the beach, you for the streets, we aim different. Stalking us down overseas, them dames different. You having babies, so please just leave me alone. Your body, your choice, you chose the funeral home. We chose Brazil, Thailand, somewhere in Guam. Something you can't understand, that's on my arm. No need to calm down, keep with the killer charm. Buy a dog and die alone, you know the song.
Stop listening to people telling you need to be in contact with your emotions and express your emotions and all that. Sometimes you need to be stoic. Sometimes you just need to deal with it.
We men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, we masculine. Stepdaddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine. We men, yeah, be masculine. From boys to men, salute, be masculine. Stepdaddies, they get stepped on, just ask the men. I'm the last to open the box, be masculine.
It's what life's supposed to be like. All that shit that we was sold in America, you gotta get your credit score up, bro. You gotta get your credit score. Ain't no such thing as credit score down here. Ain't no such thing as three times the rent down here. Ain't no such thing as let me see your job. What your job paying down here? Ain't no such thing as, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you need a car down here. You don't need no car. $3,000 just to stay in a motherfucking box. Nigga, I stay $700 USD. You know what I'm saying? My electricity is like $20, nigga. My Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? This is how living an American dream is supposed to be. It's outside of America. America, we got a lot of opportunities, but it's like, nigga, you make $10,000, but your bill's $9,500. So who really winning? You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be able to enjoy our lives, enjoy the fruits of our labor. A lot of people ain't enjoying the fruits of their labor. A lot of motherfuckers is working every single day.
Yeah. Welcome back to the broadcast. Big shout out to my man, Black Samurai. Thank you for the $5, man. Thanks to everybody who contributed to the super chat. We got 15. That's good, man. Let's see if we can get them a little higher. Take me a little sip of water. Look, man. So we are talking generally about illegal immigrant raids, sending them home, but I also want to give you some good, solid information so you can have a true understanding of what's going on. So you've heard, I'm sure, that Donald Trump, a birthright citizenship, okay? And there's a debate over birthright citizenship, and it's taken center stage. And this is following an executive order issued by President Donald Trump on the first day back in the White House. I mean, he didn't even wait for the damn the ink to cool on his "I'm the new president" paperwork when he jumped in there and said, "Oh, I'm on it." Okay. And there's a reason why he signed it so quick, because he expected that there would be a challenge to that filed into the courts in various states, which it has been. Now, again, let's go into the specifics, and y'all make sure when at the point where you feel like you learned something, if you really understand what's going on, man, make sure you pay me for my time. Like my good friend Kevin Samuels used to say, you got to pay for quality. If you want that high-end YouTube quality, you want me to do this, you want to really learn something, I'm going to teach you more than you learn in the law school. Trust me, you're going to learn more about this particular subject than they teach you in law school. And I'm going to actually give you some historical context. But at the point where you feel like you truly understand, make sure you show me some love by paying for my time. Somebody type pay for my time in the chat room. All right. Now, hear me out. Okay. The debate over birthright citizenship, that's generally what we're speaking about. Okay. And I'm actually going to share something with you guys so you can see when it actually was signed into office or signed into the record. Let me see here. See if I can pull this up. Boom. There we go. So again, Donald Trump on his first day back, he signed an executive order. And this order, what it aims to do is end that automatic citizenship for children born in the United States to immigrants or illegal immigrants. Okay, they're in the country illegally, and they come over here and have a child, and that child is automatically a citizen, okay, that's an anchor baby. Somebody type anchor baby. It might be a derogatory term, but it's a baby that anchors you here. All right. And in doing so, and that's a major way that people become citizens to this country. They become tied. You don't want to kick the kids out. Those are American citizens. They weren't even born in another country. But the bottom line is what he's doing is he is fulfilling a campaign promise. And he, of course, is reigniting a legal and constitutional question surrounding the 14th Amendment. Somebody typed the 14th in the chat room. Okay. Now, somebody typed the 14th in the chat room. Okay. Now, the thing is, a Trump official indicated that the federal government is no longer just going to automatically recognize birthright citizenship for children of illegal aliens born in the United States. And we're also going to enhance the vetting and screening of illegal aliens. All right. So we're going to put that pressure. And this in a response, you have 18 states who have filed a lawsuit against the administration in the United States District Court of Massachusetts, very liberal state, which means what? It's going to be a liberal judge, district court, maybe more liberal judge, appellate court. But by the time they get to the Supreme Court, they got to deal with that 6-3. Okay, that 6-3 conservative split. Shout out to my man, Robert Williamson. Thank you for the $20 Cash App. Man, you the first one to kick in to the Cash App. Golly, man, the Cash App is right. You rock and roll for that, man. Big up to you. Now, nevertheless, what these states are arguing is that this particular executive order, it violates the Constitution. So you can't do it, okay? Now, immigrant and civil rights organizations, including the American Civil Liberties Union, they quickly file suit. I mean, as soon as he signed it, bam, lawsuit, all right? In addition to that, you got Congress. Okay, Congress, along with this executive order, you have a dozen Texans. Shout out to Texas. Okay, all these people moving here, that's giving us more representative. A dozen Texas congressmen who filed a bill aiming to end birthright citizenship. So they're attacking this thing on two prongs. On one side, they got an executive order. On another side, they got a bill that has to work its way through Congress, gets out of committee. The House will vote on it. Then it'll go up to the Senate. They'll vote on it. They may change some things up, and they'll come up for a reconciliation committee. The senators and the House will get together, representatives, and they'll come up with a bill, and everybody will vote on it again. And then it'll go to the president's desk. All right, but the bill was filed by Representative Brian Babbitt of small town Woodville, Texas. He's a Republican. And what this would do is limit automatic citizenship to those born in the United States with at least one parent who's a citizen. And so this legislation, this move, it's another thing that directly challenges the rights enshrined that they think are enshrined in the 14th Amendment. So far, you got Republicans have signed off, the 9 Republicans have signed off to sponsor the bill. Remind you, the Republicans have an advantage in the House, slim majority lead, but it's still a lead, it's still a majority. And, you got these 22 state attorney generals, New York included, Massachusetts included, and they file a lawsuit. Now, the thing I want you to understand, and here's the lesson, I want you to listen to me. Somebody type 14th Amendment, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. We got 500 people in here, over 653 people. Hit the like button right now. And somebody type 14th. Hit the like button, type 14th Amendment, 14th Amendment. Type 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment was meant so that the children of slaves who were not considered citizens before the Civil War could be assured citizenship. It was never meant to apply to foreign-born non-citizens and illegals. Okay? Now, why was there even a need for an amendment? Well, some of you all may remember this name. It's called Dred Scott. It's the Dred Scott decision. It's formerly known as Dred Scott versus Sanford. And it was a landmark United States Supreme Court case that was decided before the Civil War on March 6, 1857. The ruling is regarded as one of the most controversial and consequential in American history. Here's the background. You had a black man named Dred Scott. He was an enslaved African-American man who lived in the free territory of Illinois and the Wisconsin territory, okay? Because they weren't states at that time, they were territories, where slavery was prohibited. And he lived with his enslaver, a man named Dr. John Emerson. Now, after Emerson's death, Scott sued for his freedom in Missouri, arguing that his residence in a free territory made him legally free. Now, the Supreme Court, what did they do? The Supreme Court took it up and they gave a 7-2 decision delivered by Justice Roger B. Taney, and he ruled against Dred Scott. But here's what was said, okay? What was said in this ruling in 1857, less than 200 years ago, was that African Americans were not citizens. Think about that. You had black people in this country since its inception, and they were saying even up into 1857, we were not even citizens. We couldn't vote, couldn't own land, couldn't participate. We were the illegal immigrants. That's what I want you to understand. And we didn't even come here on purpose. But the court declared that black people were either enslaved or free. Okay? But they were not considered citizens of the United States under the Constitution. Damn. You could be a free black man with a wife and can trace your history back for decades. You could own property. Hell, you could own slaves, but you still were not considered a citizen of the United States under the Constitution. So you weren't a citizen of Africa. You weren't one of those countries. You weren't a citizen of America. You were not even a citizen. Think about that. And what they and as far as the Dred Scott decision, only citizens can sue in court, in federal court, which means that he had no standing to even sue for his freedom. You see? And at that time, Congress lacked the authority to prohibit slavery in the territory. Shout out to my man Black Samurai. Thank you so much. He said reparations bill now, FBA. I want you to think about that. So the court ruled the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which banned slavery in certain U.S. territories, was unconstitutional. That particular Judge Taney, argued that Congress didn't even have the power to deprive slave owners of their property, which was enslaved people in federal territories, because it would violate the Fifth Amendment, which is the due process clause, okay, which protects people's rights. So guess what ended up happening? Shout out to my man Lemuel Norman. Thank you so much. And thank you, Corey Smith. Dog Bones, good looking out, Dog Bones. Thank you, Lemuel. And thank you, Corey. Now I want you to listen to this. So after this, if it wasn't already, and see, here's what you got to understand. Some people are like, damn, why'd you bring that damn case? You set us back 100 years. This is 1857. You done set us back 100 years. So some people were actually mad at Dred Scott and mad at his lawyers for bringing that case, like you pushing them too fast. Nevertheless, since Scott was considered property, this black man was considered property under law, he couldn't claim freedom simply by residing in a free territory. You were still a slave, even if you lived in free territory, man. And when the schools act, you're still a slave. Shout out to my man Red Sigma. So what are the consequences of this decision? So the Dred Scott decision, it had a profound, far-reaching effect. It strengthened the pro-slavery forces. And what I'm saying is that ruling emboldened the Southern slaveholding states by affirming their right to expand slavery in the new territories. Let me get this straight. You mean no matter where my slaves go, they're still not citizens, so they're always slaves. So what does that mean? They're property. So even if California is not a slave state, because it's a federal territory, and I'm a slave owner and I have a black person, well, they're a slave anyway. So it doesn't matter if they're a slave state. You see what happened? That's why there's always that question as whether Texas was a slave state or not, because they still had slaves here. They had black people who were slaves and they weren't. What maybe it was a slave state or not, but we know these people aren't citizens, and so that by default they're slaves. So the decision fueled the Northern opposition to slavery, and it further polarized the nation, and it intensified the divide between free and slave states. And of course, 3 years later, the Civil War happened. Now, the ruling was a direct challenge to the newly formed Republican Party's platform, which wanted to limit the expansion of slavery. Now, there was financial reasons, there were moral reasons, and I don't want y'all to get caught up. It wasn't all financial reasons. Some people recognized slavery was just wrong, and it was white people, black people, they recognized slavery was wrong. It's two left shoes. It was wrong, 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 and they fought against it simply on principles, okay? The Republican Party, the same old grand old party, the party of Lincoln, was the party that grew up and arose because they opposed slavery. That was the whole point. The Democrats were pro-slavery. The Republicans were anti-slavery. Somehow in the 1940s or 50s, things flipped the script and we end up voting Democrat. But now you see black people are starting to shift back to Republican, get back to their Republican roots. That's another story. But the bottom line is they opposed it. And a lot of historians consider the decision, that Dred Scott decision was the catalyst, okay, for the southern states saying, well, hell, we just gonna leave. We don't even want to be part of y'all. We're gonna keep our slaves and go about our business. Now, the Dred Scott decision, it was effectively nullified by the passage of the 13th Amendment, okay, in 1865, and what that abolished slavery outright, okay, except for if you're in prison. If you're in prison, you basically can get treated like a slave under the Constitution. The 14th Amendment, which was ratified in 1868, it granted citizenship and equal protection to all persons, somebody type, all persons born or naturalized in the United States, included formerly enslaved individuals. We're not talking about immigrants. This 14th Amendment had nothing to do with illegal immigrants coming to this country having children. It had nothing to do with it, okay? It had nothing to do with it. Again, the 14th Amendment was meant so that the children of slaves who were not considered citizens before the Civil War could be assured citizenship, because either you were property or you were nothing. So now after slavery is over, what are you? And so they had to come up with the 14th Amendment so that we could have a category, so we could be citizens. All right. Now, the 14th Amendment of the United States, it was ratified on July 9th, 1868, and it was enacted in a direct response to the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision, which denied citizenships to African Americans. And the amendment aimed to recidify the injustices of slavery and ensure the legal civil rights of formerly enslaved folk, black people, all right, after the Civil War. So you can vote, you can own land, you can sue to protect your rights, you can marry, everything a citizen can do, okay? Again, before the Civil War ended, black people were not considered citizens. We were property. Okay. Now, for the purposes of voting, and for the purposes of having representatives in Congress in the lower house, we were considered 3/5 of a person, because the Southern slave owner said, we got all these Negroes down here. Surely they should count for something. And they said, well, y'all don't count them as people. So, well, let's call them 3/5 of the people. So that's where the 3/5 things came from. And that's actually codified in the United States Constitution. Okay, 3/5 of a person, and that gives them more leverage in Congress. That was what that was all about. Now, I want to break this down a little bit so you can kind of understand. Are y'all learning something? Y'all with me? Hit the number 1 button, baby. Let me know if you're learning something. At the point where you learn something, make sure you show me by paying for my time. Now, before the Civil War, as I said, black folks were not considered citizens of the United States. The Dred Scott decision reinforced that by declaring that black people were free or enslaved, but either way, they had no rights, which a white man was bound to respect. So if you had a wife and the white man pulled up on you and took your wife, Nothing the sheriff can do about it. Okay? It was a cold game. All right? You were property. But with the abolition of slavery through the 13th Amendment in 1865, a legal framework was needed to define and protect the citizenship status of formerly enslaved black folks and our descendants. So the 14th Amendment was introduced as part of the Reconstruction Amendments, which was the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. Had nothing to do with immigrants, okay? It granted citizenship. It was a citizenship clause in which effectively overturned the Dred Scott decision by affirming that all persons born or naturalized in the United States, and listen to this, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States. Now, I'm going to actually post this up because I want y'all to understand this is where the money is, all right? This is what the fight about. Most of that y'all can understand, okay? Most of this you figured out. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the, but the part where it says, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, what the hell does that mean? Okay, that's where the money is made, all right? And see, but shout out to my man Barry Little. See, this ensures that the children of the formerly enslaved people, black folk, who had no legal standing before the Civil War, now they would have full citizenship rights, regardless of our race. Okay. Now, the Equal Protection Clause guarantees that no state, because see, we still divided. War might be over, but you're not going to get the same rights in Mississippi as you would get in Massachusetts. So they had to come up with laws that said we gonna have equal protection of laws, and that apply. And no state shall deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. And that clause aimed to protect black folks from discrimination in state laws that they had stuff called black codes. Because see, after we got out of slavery, they still needed somebody to pick that cotton and do that work. Okay, because at the end of the day, white folk lazy. You understand me? They lazy. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do get away from them. They had to get people over here to pick their cotton. But bottom line, these black codes allowed these former plantation owners and white folk, you spit on the sidewalk, they can pick you up. You're loitering. They can pick you up and put you in jail for 5 years. Any old stuff, you reckless eyeballing, you look a white man in the eye, they can put you in jail for 3 or 4 years. And of course, the 13th Amendment says what? We can treat you like a slave if you're a prisoner. You see? And you wonder why black folks always looking at the justice system with a side eye, because we've been on the worst end of the so-called justice that has been delivered in the black community. So it's not that we don't like the law and adhere to the laws. We just recognize the law is arbitrary depending on the color of your skin, okay? Which is something Donald Trump had to deal with, even though the color of the skin. They've been exercising and using the law against us arbitrarily for centuries now. And so we recognize what he's going through, even though he's a billionaire white man, he still had to deal with it. But the bottom line is this, okay? Those black codes were used to restrict our newly found freedoms. And so that's why you had that equal protection clause. Now, due process says that no person should be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. Now, these are things that were already kind of understood, but they had to come up with an amendment and say, yeah, this also applies to black people. Y'all can't keep doing them wrong like that. We done fought a war behind it. Let's let it go. But see, this extended legal protections to all citizens, and it was enacted to make sure everybody got fair treatment in the legal proceeding, and it prevented these states from enacting laws that could deny these fundamental rights to black folks who were formerly slaves. Now, the other thing is, okay, y'all still with me? Hit the number 1 button if you're with me, baby. Hit the number 1 button. I need you to hear me, okay? I want to make sure you hear me now, okay? All right, we still good. We still awake. We in it. We still with it. Okay, so now back to the 14th Amendment. The Reconstruction period ends. White folk go crazy. Jim Crow gets kicked into place. And so now we got to fight. So you had people like Thurgood Marshall, and you had Martin Luther King on one hand, and he helped create a social climate. And then you had Malcolm X, who helped create a social climate. And then you have folks like Thurgood Marshall and the Legal Defense Fund from the NAACP, and they filed cases like Brown versus the Board of Education. And in that case, what it did was it ended racial segregation in public schools and generally public accommodations. And this was an interpretation of the 14th Amendment. You understand me? So you got an interpretation of the 14th Amendment that says, well, all people are created equal, blah, blah, blah. It's 1954, so we looking at what? Less than 100 years later. And that's how we help end racial segregation. And of course, after that, you had stuff like Loving versus Virginia in 1967 that legalized interracial marriage between a white man and a black and Indian woman or whatever. But see, here's the thing. Some folks start taking it too far. All right. Roe versus Wade, 1973, established a woman's right to privacy under due process, and that's not in there. Okay. And then you had the Obergefell case and Hodges, and that legalized same-sex marriage. So you see, now it's like, hold on a minute. This was originally for black folks, and now y'all talking about civil rights for rainbow rights. Where do we go from black folks were looking for freedom and trying to have rights as citizens in the United, and now you saying women have a right to unalive their unborn children, and now you got these rainbow rights coming in. This is going a little too far. Okay, and now you see, of course, you see the backlash coming. And we all can see with common sense that that's not what it was meant. But see, today, the 14th Amendment, it has been, in my opinion, overstretched and reinterpreted. And so it serves not only as the foundation for civil rights and protections for black people, but any other group. You say, hey, look, I feel like a blue polka dot giraffe today, and they won't give me a job because I'm a blue polka dot. I identify as a blue polka dot giraffe. And so it's no longer about racial injustice. It's about all sorts of rights and remedies. And at this point, everything is a violation of rights, and everybody is an aggrieved party. Okay. And so now what's happened? In comes Donald Trump. In comes the orange man. Okay. And what does he say? Hell with that. What we do is it's time to reinterpret the 14th Amendment to back to what it was supposed to be. Let me say this again. The 14th Amendment was never meant to apply to foreign-born non-citizens and illegals. Okay, the 14th Amendment does not say all persons born in the U.S. become citizens of the U.S. automatically. All right, just like they reinterpreted, they're about to reinterpret these immigration, these rainbow rights. That's what you see happening. You see they overturning some stuff left and right. They got rid of baby deletions. They overturned Roe v. Wade and said send that back to the states. You're gonna see that happening with these illegals. Now check this out. Okay, again, this 14th Amendment has been stretched, and it has been the subject of ongoing legal debate, particularly regarding whether it grants automatic citizenship to children born in the United States to foreign nationals or undocumented immigrants. Okay. And the amendment's language and original intent have been analyzed in historical and legal constitutional context. Do you know there are places in Los Angeles where women from China, they have apartments filled with women who are pregnant with children who are of two Chinese nationals. All they do is this is lots of money, okay? Somebody said, did this for Border Patrol. Y'all crazy. But anyway, these people sit up here, have these children, go to the hospital, get a birth certificate, and now they have an American child who is actually a Chinese national. And then they go back home and wait till the child grows up. They send them here for college. They get all the benefits of being an American citizen. They literally have stuff like that set up. This is a tourist destination for giving birth. That's what they're doing right now. That's what's going on right now. And we all recognize that this is a problem. I think we all recognize that is taking advantage of what the 14th Amendment meant. Now, it says again, All persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Okay? Critics of this broad interpretation argue that subject to the jurisdiction was never intended to grant birthright citizenship universally. No. Okay? It was meant to apply specifically to those who have complete allegiance to the United States, excluding certain groups such as foreign nationals and undocumented immigrants. Okay? See, again, let me reinforce what's going on. Because, see, I want y'all to understand that with the amendment was designed to address citizenship for our people. And that's formerly enslaved Black people after the Civil War, okay, because of Dred Scott said that we weren't citizens. It was never meant to extend automatically to citizens of children who come visit our country and pop out a baby. Okay, they don't owe any allegiance to the United States. All right? And you can look at the point, you look at the historical context in which the amendment was drafted. Okay? It emphasized that it was intended to correct an injustice purported or put upon us by the Dred Scott decision and to solidify the status of freed slaves. It was never meant to create a pathway to citizenship for non-citizens. I mean, even if you look during the drafting of the 14th Amendment in 1866, Senator Lyman Trumbull said this. One of the key figures behind the amendment stated that the phrase, listen to me, subject to the jurisdiction thereof meant not owing allegiance to anybody else. You can't be a Mexican or a Chinese person coming to visit this country as a foreign citizen and say you don't owe any allegiance to someone else. You owe your allegiance to your home country. So what does that suggest? It suggests that the children born to these foreign nationals who snuck across the border or who use this place as a birthing tourism place, look, their allegiance is to another country. They're not automatically, and their children shouldn't automatically be considered U.S. citizens. Senator Jacob Howard, he was the one who introduced the amendment in the Congress that clarified it would not include foreigners and aliens who were under the legal jurisdiction of their home countries. Okay? That's the whole point of having the phrase subject to the jurisdiction. It was introduced by a senator to clarify that. Okay? Now, when we look at the historical precedents that certain groups such as Native Americans who were considered members of sovereign tribes and not subject to U.S. jurisdiction, foreign diplomats and enemy occupiers, they were also included from automatic birthright. That's why when you go on an Indian reservation, they're like, your laws don't apply here. It's tribal law here. Go to Oklahoma, go to Louisiana. Again, this supports the argument that the amendment was not meant to apply universally, but rather to those whose undivided loyalty was to the United States. Look, man, people been taking our work. They've been using or benefited from the sacrifices that foundational Black Americans have made for this country. And they take it and they warp it and they do crazy stuff with it. And now guess what? It's no good to anybody. Now here's the crazy part. We all can read for ourselves. Everything I read, you can find it. But despite these historical arguments, the United States, the courts have largely upheld the broader interpretation of the 14th Amendment. So again, it's not that the 14th Amendment has changed. It says what it says, but the interpretation of the 14th Amendment is what's going to come into question. So you got this executive order coming in from Donald Trump. You have this bill outlawing birthright citizenship, not outlawing, but shrinking it, coming from two different directions, and it's going to be challenged. And so the hope for the people who are putting it forth is that this 6-3, somebody type 6-3, this 6-3 Supreme Court will reinterpret the 14th Amendment to say, hey, when we look at this in the historical context and the time in which it was ratified, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, we know it was intended to give citizenship and rights and due process and equal protection under the law to former slaves and their children who had no status. That's what they're hoping. Okay, but even, it was crazy how this is working. Okay, it's crazy. You had a case, United States versus Wong Kim Ark in 1898. The Supreme Court ruled that a child born in the U.S. to legal residents, Chinese parents, was a U.S. citizen, and it affirmed the principle of, I'm going to use a Latin term, jus soli, just soli, birthright citizenship. Now, critics say that the ruling should not apply to children of undocumented immigrants, as the case involved legal residents, not those in the country unlawfully. Did you hear me? Okay, because see, even in that case, the U.S. versus Wong Kim Ark, they were here as legal residents. So they were here under the jurisdiction of this court. So that's the difference between somebody coming up over the border, going to the nearest hospital, having a baby as a foreign citizen by a foreign citizen who's the father, and it's different. Okay? Again, I'm going to tell you what many tell you. Some argue, I'm one of them, as a Black American, that these modern interpretations of the 14th Amendment have stretched the original intent of the 14th Amendment to include folks it was never meant to cover, such as children born to undocumented immigrants. Okay? That's what I'm saying. And what Congress needs to clarify the law to align with the amendment's original meaning. Okay, they possibly enacting some legislation to restrict automatic birthright and citizenship to those who have this legal standing that was originally contemplated, which is what you see happening right now. If you are learning something, if you've learned something today, make sure you pay for the quality that you receive. Don't forget that. Don't forget that part. I can get caught up and start preaching. Make sure you show me some love. And also hit the like button. What's up with the like button? Like button don't cost anything. Hit the like button. Show me some love with the like button. Now, there are some people, okay? Again, why do we need to restrict this birthright citizenship? First of all, if you having children in the United States and you haven't been paying taxes, you haven't been over here, you're not part of the culture, you just over here for something, what they call it is birth tourism, right? As long as the 14th Amendment is stretched lighter than that, wider than, we don't have this strict interpretation, you're going to continue having people misapplying it and then incentivizing illegal immigration through birth tourism. Okay? See, what's going to be up for debate, where the money is? The phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof. And we talked about it a little bit more for those who came in late. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof. This is where the lawyering is going to happen. This is where the money is going to be made. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof implies complete political alliance, which does not apply to undocumented immigrants or foreign nationals. They can go home. They subject to their countries. Now, the people who are proponents of the broad interpretation, they believe that the amendment's clear wording guarantees citizenship to everybody born in the U.S., regardless of their parental status, and they argue that it aligns with American values of inclusion and equal opportunity. So what if somebody is born on a ship in the ocean that's under an American flag, even though they're foreign nationals? What do you think about that? I don't think that's fair. I don't even think it makes sense. So what do we see happening? Well, a lot of people are saying Congress needs to pass some legislation and the Supreme Court needs to revisit this interpretation of the amendment and clarify it. And I think that's what's happening. I don't think we'd be able to get a constitutional amendment. That would take too much. What do you need, like 6/4, or 3/6? That's too much. Okay? So that's what's going on right now. That's why you see it happening. And the truth is, again, let me reemphasize this. The original intent of the 14th Amendment is understood through history. It is meant primarily to address the citizenship of freed Black people, not to grant automatic citizenship to everybody born in the United States, especially those whose parents are foreign nationals and who are in the country unlawfully. Okay, even though the judicial precedent and the modern interpretations continue to support a broader understanding, making this issue a point that we have to deal with. It's a point of contention. And so now we're going to have the opportunity to deal with it. Now, why did Donald Trump go ahead and file it on day one? Because it's going to take some time to work itself through the legal system. Okay? It's going to take its time to get itself through the legal system. Now, it might take a year to get out of the district court and into the appellate court. There's already a judge I think it's out of Massachusetts, who's filed an injunction preventing the effect of Donald Trump's EO from taking effect right now. Okay? Shout out to my man Eddie B. He said, Uncle D, absolutely love it when you spit straight facts. None like seeing it, but it needs to happen. You can't just go to any of these other countries. They'll lock you up and deport. Yes, they will. They certainly will. Okay? Now, the thing is, and I want to get back to the business. Shout out to my man Terrell. Shout out to Turner. Shout out to Timothy. Shout out to Robert. Thank you so much, fellas, for the super chat. So where are we? Where are we now? Donald Trump enacted, he signed this executive order. Congress came on ahead and put this bill in effect. The judge has already moved and filed an injunction. That means there's going to be a hearing on the injunction and there's going to be an appeal on that. Okay? And the question is going to be whether or not, number one, whether or not Donald Trump has the right to do it. But then also there's the substance of the EO. There's a substance of the executive order. Whether or not he can outlaw birthright citizenship. I'd love to take a look at the actual language in it. But the bottom line, the challenge is up. We got 4 years before he becomes, before the people that he puts in office, i.e. the U.S. Attorney's Office, are switched out, if they're switched out, because we may end up with J.D. Vance as the vice president, be the president again. And that puts us maybe not just 4 years, but 12 years. But the bottom line is when the administrations change, typically they take an attorney general that they want and put them in place, which is what you see happening right now with Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was Attorney General of Florida. And now she's at least Donald Trump's nominee for the Attorney General for the United States. Her office will push the EO and what the EO wants, and the EO being eliminating birthright citizenship. So now he has 4 years. If he waited 3 years, it might take 3 or 4 years for it to get to the Supreme Court. But now, okay, now he has 4 years from the day he signed it to get it all the way to the Supreme Court. And I think that's enough time. Might take 3 years. And so we'll know, I'm thinking maybe 2026, whether or not this birthright citizenship interpretation that they find in the 14th Amendment will be narrowed. So that's where we at. So either way, in the meantime, they sending them home. They are sending illegal immigrants on. I'm just saying. Nevertheless, did you all learn something? Did you enjoy this broadcast? Was it thoughtful? Was it demure? Was it meaningful? Is that what they say? Yeah, shout out to my man Roach Street. Thank you so much, man. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to everybody who contributed to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Big shout out to Generation Malcolm X. America got snow last week and ice this week. Oh, Those are bars. That is real bars. My man Pete B. Tinsdale, thank you for being a new member. The brother from down under, good looking out. Great day to be alive. Black folks enjoy the show. Thank you so much. Rap Pink, thank you so. Hey, Uncle D, much love from Illinois. Shout out to Illinois. Yeah. My man Jay Renard Leather. Shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chat. I appreciate you all contributing your hard-earned money. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just lets me know you appreciate it. And of course, who wouldn't like getting paid for the little work that they're doing? I enjoy what I'm doing. It's a lot of work. I put in a lot of quality to get this stuff into you guys. You can definitely take this. I challenge any law professor, any legal scholar to challenge me on what I'm saying. It's a straight interpretation, no frills, no thrills. I will speak in a language that folk can understand, because who wants to sit up here and speak legalese? I don't. I like talking to people in regular tones, and that's what makes me the type of person people like to come to when they need a lawyer. But nevertheless, thank you guys so much for your super chats. I appreciate everyone. We got 23. That's pretty good. That's 3 past what I normally get. I appreciate it, man. Maybe one day we'll try for 25. That'll be live. But anyway, so shout out to Jay Renard Leather. Here's my part for the Blizzard Kings billable hours. Thank you so much. Shout out to In Between Flight Super Sticker. Thank you for the super sticker, sir. Just my 4 cents, my new side hustle, snitching on the legals. Ooh, that they got a $750 bonus for you. If you do, man. Winter has come, the ice has arrived. Yes, it has, man. It is what it is. Let me see who else we got in here. Shout out to James Reynolds. Call me Vanilla Ice. Boy, you crazy. Anyway, shout out to 414 Money. How many calls I need for a villa in the DR? We talked about that. 200 calls to get you a villa. Okay, 200 calls will get you $150,000 villa. I don't know if you have to pay tax on that. But shout out to Simeon Toko. How many mangoes can you get for $750? A lot. Mark the Freelancer, Pablo Telemarketing Services. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, fam. Black Sand, we are all bounty hunters now. Thanks for the heads up. Here's your cut. Good looking out, fam. Just my 2 cents. Do we get $1,500 if she's pregnant with a child? You ugly. Just for my 2 cents, you're a very ugly person on the inside. You wrong for that. But probably so. Shout out to my man Black Samurai, 2025 year the Black Man Renaissance. Yes, sir. Shout out to the brothers. Black Samurai, what is that? 77 billion reparations bill now. FBA forever. Good looking out, fam. I appreciate you. Lemuel Norman, love the work you do. Keep giving the information. I will, man. I'm going to do what I do, man. I enjoy doing it. I love talking to the people, man. Shout out to Corey Smith, $2. Oh, man, we got 26 super chats. Woo-wee. I'm almost I'm doing good out here. I might be able to get myself a jelly jar with my name on it. Maybe we get to 30 before I get to the bottom. But thank you so much, man. I'm humbly appreciative of all that, man. Love the work. Do what you do. Keep giving the information. I will, brother. Corey Smith, thank you for the super sticker. Dog Bone, thank you for $20. Yeah. Big, good looking out. My man Red Sigma, thank you for the $2. Very Little, thank you for $5, brother. Eddie B said, Uncle D, absolutely love it when you spit straight facts. None like seeing it, but it needs to happen. You can't just go to any of these other countries. They'll lock you up and deport me. They certainly will. Shout out to Roach 3, $3 super sticker. Good looking out, fam. Thank you so much. Lamel Norman, I have a question. How would challenging birthright citizenship help Black people? And any word on his rollback of the 1964 amendment? Okay. I will probably address DEI tomorrow, but I'm going to leave you with a question. Who really benefits from DEI? Is it the people who the civil rights was intended to benefit, or is it a bunch of other people? Because when I look around and I look at affirmative action and all that sort of stuff, it really doesn't help Black men or Black women that much. I see Black women getting more benefit than Black men, but really it's not Black men that benefit. We're the ones who were subjected to systematic institutional slavery and racism, not these people who have their own countries they can go back to. They can always leave. All right. It was meant to recidify the wrongs to Black people. But when I look up, I see a lot of foreigners and I see a lot of people who are not from this country benefiting from the civil rights that was meant for black people. That's what I see. Okay, I'm just pointing it out to you. We'll deal with it later. Now, as far as how would challenging birthright citizenship help black people? Well, the first thing it would do, and I don't want to get too far off the subject, you would have less people being born in this country. You would have less competition for the limited resources that we have in this country, which means there's more opportunity for you to grow, more opportunity for your children, smaller schools, more people who are in tune with the culture, more people who speak the language. Look, there's a place for diversity. And we do want immigration, but we do want it to be controlled. We don't want people to cheat the system. Okay, so how does it benefit black people? Because there's less people doing those jobs that black people would otherwise do. And there are people, employers will now have to pay the price that needs to be paid to employ Americans. And with less competition, there's more for the people that are left. That's just a practical thing. So that's how it would help, in my opinion. Shout out to my man, Christopher Williams. Thank you. You get the rock and roll for being the person who contributed the most money today in a single super chat. $49.99. Good looking out. Good looking out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Christopher Williams. Shout out to, man, we got 27. Man, can we get to 30 before I get to the bottom? We got 27. That's outstanding. Dante Wormley said, notice how the first attorney general opposed to the executive order was a black Washington State AG, Nick Brown, just like they did with Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, and lovely Fonnie. Thanks, Uncle D. Look, let me tell you something. I don't know why black people are the first ones to jump in front of this parade truck. Okay, look, okay, most black people do not support birthright citizenship. Okay, we don't support illegal immigration, and we don't support birthright citizenship, especially when you explain to it was something that was meant for us, and other groups of people come in and manipulate and use it just like they do so much of the things that are meant for us. Black people paid our dues in this country. We paid our dues. We fought in every war, from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War to the War of 1812, World War I, Korea, World War II, Vietnam, Iraq I, Iraq II, Afghanistan, and whatever other little skirmishes we have going on. We paid our dues. We've earned the right to be American citizens. A lot of these people just come over here and jump in line and reap the benefits of it. Now, again, if you come in the United States the right way, if you're an immigrant, whether you are from West Africa or West Ireland, all right, whether you're from East Asia or East London or South America or Norway, all right, come in the right way, and we don't have a problem with that because you have been screened. We know who you are. We're getting people who you don't have these criminal records. But if you just running up here having babies and you can't even take care of yourself, you're going to end up being on the public dole. And you're not an attribute to your adopted country. You are another deficit. You are another bill that needs to be paid. Your children are going to be filling up our prisons. We have enough of that. But all these black lawyers out here leading the parade, they always put black folks out there to crash out. And I'm disappointed at a lot of the black lawyers. You are on a sinking ship. You are going against the tide. This is not justice that you're asking for. You're basically being used to undermine our own benefits and what our ancestors fought for us. But yeah, I do notice how these black attorneys are oftentimes put at the forefront of some of this foolishness that has nothing to do with us. Shout out to my man, Amos Brown. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, we didn't get to 30, but that's okay. I feel great. Look, guys, it's a lot going on. It's too much for me to too much for one man to talk about. I actually covered two topics. I was only going to cover the illegal immigrant raids today, but I said, well, hell, we're here. We got a whole bunch of people here. That seems like a subject you guys want to talk about. So let's talk about it. And that's why I went ahead and jumped on in and added the discussion related to the 14th Amendment. I think it was insightful. You guys liked it. If you liked it, hit the #1 button. If you appreciate that, hit the number 1 button. Shout out to my man, Mile High Gambler. Agreed, man. It'd be one thing if these were hardworking, proud to be American, paying taxes and making contributions, but it's not. They're gangsters. No, they're not. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And shout out to my man 414 Money. Gotta go. I don't like it when people come to this country and start flying flags from their home country. I'm just saying, if that's your flag from your home country, if you like it so much, go back. That may sound harsh, but I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You love your country so much, whether you're from Jamaica, Mexico, or whether you're from Ireland, London, Brazil. If you like your country so much, go back. Don't come into my country complaining about it, because we fought very hard to get this where we are, okay? We fought very hard. So be proud of America. Be proud of where you are. Make America the best place you could be. Your parents brought you here, or if you decided to come here on your own, then show appreciation for this country. Don't disrespect this country by downing what we got going on over here, saying how much better your country is. My man, Mile High Gambler, as a Latino born to immigrant parents, I 100% agree, Unc. Black people need to stop fighting for people who won't fight for them. Let us Latinos handle this. Trust me when I say this isn't black and white. No, not necessarily, not really. But at the end of the day, it is grounded in racism, because of all those people I see getting rounded up. I didn't see any Australians. I didn't see any people from Scotland or Ireland getting rounded up. I didn't see any Ukrainians who are here illegally. I saw some black people and I saw some Latinos. But nevertheless, and so the thing you have to understand is that black people are hypersensitive to racism, okay? Black folks are hypersensitive to racism. So anytime we see racism afoot, okay, then we feel the need to intercede. It's just something that's built into our culture. It's just one of those things that we have to respond to. I'm almost out of water in my jelly jar, which means I'm almost ready to go. Kenneth McDonald, he said, good evening to you, sir. Man, we way up into the 31s. Good looking out. And so that's why, and I'm going to run this back. Some of y'all might have missed this little lady.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I know I'm speaking on behalf of many Mexicans right now.
Fair use.
You guys, if you guys don't know, they're coming into our schools and they're taking our children. That way, when the parents come up to pick up the kids, they deport them. The black community, guys, black women teachers, that's all I've seen so far, black women teachers. I'm sure there's some black male teachers, but black women teachers are saying they're willing to fight for our kids. I don't think you understand what that means. I don't think you understand what level of sacrifice that is. We all know through history the police brutality that the black community has gone through. They're basically saying they're willing to die for our kids.
Yeah. So,
we all know what happens and the risk that they are taking for being a black victim in that kind of scenario. That's a whole other level of love and sacrifice, and thank you so much. And us as Mexicans, we need to completely have their backs. Yeah. We need to completely be willing to die for their children too, and put our lives on the line.
She's so sweet. Bless her heart, baby. They're not going to do that. But the bottom line, I played that out is because, let me tell you, black folks, our natural response to racism and prejudice when we see it, racial injustice, is to respond because that's part of our culture. We understand gosh, I don't know what I was trying to get rid of. I was trying to get up out of here, but culture, golly, man, I don't want to get off into this conversation. Okay, so culture is something that comes about to help a people survive. Okay, culture is your language, what you eat, the holidays you celebrate. These I'm trying to look up the broadcast that I did real quick so y'all can refer to it. These things are designed to help you live in the environment and help you get your offspring to the next generation. Okay? And the one thing that has been persistent in our experience here in the United States is our fight against racial injustice. And so because of that, we are particularly in tune to racial injustice. We see it before everybody else. We know it. We recognize the signs of it. It's so bad that folk think we paranoid. You say everything's not racism. You know, we see it. I'm trying to tell you, we see it. Okay? And so even when it's none of our business, even when it's Asians having to deal with it, even when it's Hispanics having to deal with it, hell, Jewish people, even them having to deal, and they look white to most folk, but we are specifically in tune to that level of racial injustice, and that's part of our culture, so we can't help it. And you literally have black people saying that they're going to throw themselves in front of the bullets that are being used to get these children. I can believe it. Now, there are other people, and I'll see this, and you got to understand something. It's a mixed bag when it comes to some folk, because we understand that there's a lot of Latino racism, anti-black racism directed towards black people. We know that. We know about making the race better. What is blancamiento? Whitening the race, as in eliminating the blackness. We know about some of the South American countries, not Venezuela, but what's the other one? Oh gosh, the other country, golly, that they basically put all the black people at the front lines, and they were literally able to eliminate Argentina. They were able to eliminate the black people by putting them in the front lines, putting sicknesses in their ghetto, not cleaning them where black people live. And that's how they eliminated black people from their population. We know these things. You see, we know these things, and we recognize, we hear what y'all say. And so it's a mixed bag. And matter of fact, this lady right here, she said, I'm a teacher, and she said, shit. We teach predominantly Hispanic kids in what used to be black neighborhoods and get disrespected every day. We ain't stopping the damn thing. So you also have black people who have a mixed bag about jumping in and going to bat. But the truth is, we still see it, and we still don't like it, and we still want to intercede. It is just something about the goodness of us as a people, irrespective of what we have had to deal with as a group and as a society in this country. We are still at heart God's people. We love God, we love ourselves, we love people, and we hate racial injustice. And again, it is implanted, it is inputted in our DNA, in our culture to fight against it. So some of us just can't help ourselves. All right. So shout out to my man TIQS. He said Uncle D tax. So we'll see what happens, fam. Look, we not a bitter, angry people. We Uncle D, continue with your perspective and work. Thank you so much, bro. Look, we don't like to see people in pain. Most of us don't. Okay. We don't want to see you suffer. But at the end of the day, this is the price you pay for the decisions you make. And it's so unfortunate. Okay. It's so very unfortunate that folk children who are coming up here, people who are coming up here just to work are being sent home. But this is the America that we know to be. Okay. My man, the guy in the black suit said, when it gets colder and colder, the Blizzard King. Yeah, this is America. This is America. Okay. And look, I'm going to tell you, everybody gets their chance. It's not just black folks. It's some white folks they white now. The Italians caught hell when they first got here. You go down to New Orleans right now, there's some people in New Orleans that sound like they're New Yorkers or Italians. And the reason is the racism was so bad for those Sicilians and Italians when they got to New Orleans that they had to go to New York. The largest lynching in America was of Italians. You understand me? Italians were the largest group of people lynched at one time in New Orleans. They called hell. Some of those signs that said no black people, no Mexicans, no dogs. It also said no Irish. Will not rent to Irish. Everybody catches hell in the United States. Every racial group, Chinese, Japanese. They put the Chinese on the railroad, put the Japanese in concentration camps. This is America. And so now what you see is America doing what America does. Every 80, 90 years, you get this racial animosity. You want to know what happened to all the black towns and the black cities around America? Look at what is it called? Red Summer? 1919, all of them went up in flames. I'm just saying. Shout out to my man, M.D. Johnson. We had built ourselves up so much that many white people became jealous of what we had, and they burned them down. All these thousands of little black towns, they ran us out, they put us out of business. It is what it is. This is America. Like it or not, this is where we at. You see? This is where we at. And so now you see it happening again. And it may be distasteful. It is certainly unfortunate. It is certainly hard to watch. You know, children being separated, people crying. But this is America. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the hard truth is this. A country is not a country unless it enforces its borders. Let me run that back to you again. A country is not a country unless it enforces its borders. Just like your house is not a house if you have no walls. Anybody can come in. Anything can come in. Animals, flies, other people. And so we as Americans have an obligation to the Americans who are here and who have put in to make this country what it is, to make sure that the borders are safe and that the borders are secure. And people should not just be able to walk up across the southern border and just be able to set up shop and begin to extract time, money, and resources from the public dole that other Americans have paid heavily for. That's not right. Just like I would not be able, or I should not be able to go to Venezuela or Mexico and just go ahead and start beginning to use their social programs. I shouldn't be able to just do that, and I can't. We should enforce our borders like Mexico enforces its southern border, and we wouldn't have the issues. But the truth is there are a lot of countries who benefit from sending their citizens to our country. Those people then work, they extract resources, and they send that money home, and it helps their economy. It's an incentive for Mexico to keep sending the citizens up here illegal. That's why they keep the door open. And if we want to talk about the drug trafficking, you don't think that those politicians benefit from the tax dollars and the money spent in the economy of those drug cartels? We all know it to be true. So that's why they don't want to get rid of them. I don't care what they say. Mexico is not the Mexico of old. It is what it is. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but it's obvious. And that needs to be rooted out. Our southern neighbor, you know, we have a love-hate relationship with Mexico. You know, we love Mexico. We love Mexican food. We love Mexican people. But damn, the fentanyl, killing 100,000 people a year. And then on top of that, you're getting your raw products from China. So that means you're in cahoots with one of our biggest international enemies. You're getting your raw material from China. You're putting fentanyl in the dope. It's coming up here. It's killing young people, killing old people. got us addicted to the drugs. It's a problem. It has to end. At some point, as good neighbors, as they say, high fences, a good fence, strong fences make for good neighbors. And we need to go ahead and put that barrier up. We should not allow people to just continue to manipulate us and use us as America. We are generous people. Yeah, we're tough people. We'll go to war with you. But who does the world call when they get in trouble? Who's the first person they call when they get in trouble? The Europeans called us in World War I. Europeans called us. Churchill begged us to get in the war. They damn near happy that Pearl Harbor happened because that forced us to interject ourselves in a war that had nothing to do with us. We got 3 major bodies of water that separate us. We have people who are armed to the teeth. There was a Japanese commander that said, man, there's a gun behind every blade of grass in America. Nobody's coming over here. They beg us to come help them in Ukraine. They coming over here begging us to help them with guns so they can fight off Russia. Even Israel, they beg us for technology and surveillance and equipment to help us fight off their enemies. Everybody comes to us for help. So don't believe them when they tell you stuff like America's so bad, blah, blah. Yeah, we only bad until you need our money and our support and our guns and our young men and women to come over and get you out of trouble. So think about that, family. I love my country. I love the United States, and that's unconditional. Good, bad, and indifferent. Be happy that you live in this country. That's why people are breaking their necks, crawling over fences, literally walking hundreds of miles to get to this country. Be happy, be appreciative of where we live. It's not perfect, but I dare you to find any other place in time and history that you would rather live other than this place. Your children don't die at birth. Your wife doesn't die from giving birth. You can live a long, healthy life. You may not live the longest in the world, but your standard of living is high. They got to come. Most countries south of the border don't have warm water to take a shower in. They don't have fresh water. You literally have people who are still living in the dark ages. Be happy of the innovation and the success that we have in this country. You would be living like cavemen right now. There's still people living in huts. They're defecating in holes in the ground. They're burying their dead where their water supply is. Be happy you live in the United States. I don't care what these people say. And we have an obligation for the children that come behind us, for our next generation, to make sure it is a better place than we left it, in my opinion. Shout out to Mr. Ashton. Thank you so much for the cash app. Wow, we have gone a long way. I think we've talked about a lot. I certainly do appreciate you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I think I only need another like 200-300 people to get to 72,000. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. And the other thing, I want to reemphasize this point. I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm a registered Democrat. I just so happened to vote for Donald Trump and some other Republicans this past election because that was in my interest. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to challenge the way you think. I'm here to push you a little bit, add some education to whatever it is you feel you know, some thoughts, some concepts, some ideas, so you can be a better, so you can articulate your points better at the water cooler at work. But again, vote your interest. That's what I say. It just so happened that my interest aligned with the Republican Party, mostly on the federal level and where they were headed. And that's what many of you all voted for. And that's what we see happening. That's what we see happening right now. Nevertheless, this is Uncle D, man, Dennis Spurlin. I love you guys. I love y'all. And as I always say at this time, man, I'm out.
Dennis Spurlin Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.